Hey yo, what's up? It's your boy, Rocky the Third. Welcome back to my channel. Quick summaries of what I've been up to since the last video. My Apple Pencil kind of messed up, so I had to go buy a new one, and that's money out my pocket, unfortunately. I also took a trip to Missouri, which is gas money. I could have done a plane ticket, but it would have been about the same price. That's okay though, because my best friend lives in Missouri. Hi, Agnew. We also visited the best zoo over in Nebraska while I was over there. And a few days after I returned from that Missouri trip, I went to New Mexico for a youth camp. We went to Glorieta, so we were in the mountains. Fantastic weather. Okay, I don't have an issue with altitude, so I didn't have a problem there. My feet are still tired from all the walking and hiking I did over there, but it was absolutely worth it. God does pretty great stuff, and nature is amazing. Oh yes, my niece was just here, but we did have some fun times. She drew this, I drew these other little stickers. It was a great time. It's really, really fun. But that's beside the point. It is now Pokemon time. Yippee, get ready. Transition. To start things off, hello Epitaph, thank you for this amazing idea. This is what you sent me that video for. Yes, y'all know my friend Epitaph. He's given me ideas for previous videos. During a very normal conversation in the early autumn of 2021, Epitaph suggested a retyped Kommo-o. At that time, it was one of those pseudo-legendaries that had no design treatment to its name. Like, sure, it has a unique Z move, but I don't care. I love me some good design changes. Even today, Kommo-o, along with Dragapult, have no design change whatsoever. With the announcement of Legends Arceus earlier that year, my brain went back in time to ancient civilizations. I primarily fixated on Polynesia, which is where Hakamo-o kind of originates in Alola, and a bit of ancient Mesoamerican culture. For the sake of time and energy, I will be reducing my research to be simplified and generic for the sake of a cohesive design. Keep in mind, all these civilizations are very different. Some of them are still existing today, but I'm just pulling together similarities to make this cohesive design. This is kind of what I went with, and see, looks very big and scary. Lots of green, different color for sure, and this icon. I would do my hands like this a lot. Like, I don't know if you can do that very good. And I thought that looked really cool. I just like doing that sometimes. So that's kind of the shape I went with, and it looked kind of generically ancient civilization-ish, you know, like Aztec or something like that. And then this is what I ended up with. You can see it looks there, very pointy green. Added this whole thing, which is pretty nice. But yeah, definitely looks way more, I don't know, tribal. And the tail, proportion-wise, is just smaller because it doesn't fit on the paper. So imagine that's bigger. It's just further in the back. That's the final render. I do like adding some textures to things. I wanted it to look like a mossy stone statue. I don't know, pretty cool. But definitely need to do some updates to this, hence the video. So without further ado, voiceover. Hot take maybe, but the official Kommo-o design is kinda overcomplicated, pretty mid. Anyway, I'm glad I changed it. Outside of the colors, I really wanted my Kommo-o to be much sharper and angular. I redrew the scales to look like gems inlaid in cut stone, while the off-white parts are meant to look like feathers or something. I also fixed the tail proportion and tweaked it to something I think looks a little bit better. Introducing the imposing Dragon Rock type Kommo-o. Kommo-o's gem-like scales function as defense. Its scales were once fashioned into tools and other commodities. Certain ruins depict ancient warriors clad in armor made from Kommo-o scales. It rarely seeks conflict, enduring attacks until its opponent tires before striking with its armored tail. Few Pokemon can force it to yield once it has taken a stand. For centuries, Kommo-o have stood as wardens of sacred sites. If it wasn't obvious, the official Kommo-o design is very sound and fighting related. This is an obvious reference to Haka. I mean, its pre-evolution is called Hakamo-o for crying out loud. And Haka is a ceremonial performance, often to display strength or to intimidate opponents. My Kommo-o, however, is a rock type, so I don't imagine it being able to move that much. I wanted mine to be more like this kind of statue, a talisman of protection, symbols of power, or something similar to that. So with the idea of protection and defense in mind, my brain immediately went to two specific materials. Obsidian is a volcanic glass formed when lava cools rapidly. It can appear in several colors, but I've always liked Minecraft's uncommon purple hue. Unlike in Minecraft, Real obsidian is brittle and fractures under pressure. Its edge, however, is exceptionally sharp. It was commonly fashioned into weapons, ceremonial blades, and tools. Over time, obsidian became associated with warfare and spiritual protection. Black Augurite is like the perfect substitute of obsidian in the Pokemon universe. Black Augurite was first introduced in Legends Arceus, which was used to evolve Scyther into Kleavor. Ironically, this was also in the region of Hisui, the old name for Sinnoh, and Hisui is the Japanese word for jade, which is the second stone that I'm referencing in this design. Was I influenced? Absolutely. Jade is actually two different minerals, jadeite and nephrite, classified as one. Unlike obsidian, jade is remarkably tough, which made it ideal to make items that last a long time. Like obsidian, it has been used to make weapons and tools, but also it's been used for jewelry and symbols of status or spiritual authority. Over time, it has been associated with resilience, endurance, vitality, and inner strength. Now, just because my Kommo-o is very defense and protection heavy in the design, it is not without a weapon. I designed the tail to be a culmination of weapons lined with obsidian used by Mesoamerican warriors. And to add a little more flair, I also added in some of the mede, a deadly paddle-like weapon made of jade primarily used by Polynesian chieftains. Doesn't matter whether you're getting hit by blunt force or 1,000 cuts, you do not want to be hit by this tail. Lastly, I gave my Kommo-o a fur-like ruff, similar to Tyranitar, to show off its status, and also the headwear, I gave that feathers too. Well, they're not actually feathers. Epitaph had a wonderful idea of making these optical fibers. They're these thin strands of glass used to transmit light and information. Of course, this technology did not exist in ancient history. I thought it would be fun to play into conspiracies around advanced technology in ancient societies and that kind of stuff. Pokemon would absolutely classify that as a rock type attribute, just like Nihilego, or Nihilego. I don't know how to say it, whatever. And that's how we got to this design. It's a stone statue meant to be a protector. And here we are. Of course, I had to include all these Pokemon that look like they came from ancient civilizations or whatever. Yes, Kleavor's here. This is kind of where I got the whole shards being used as tools back in the day from. Also, I think my Hakamo-o would make a lot more of a clinking sound, just because, you know, obsidian is glass and jade is like that anyway. Alright, I'm gonna go get breakfast. I am half awake. Sometimes I feel like I give myself a bit too much work with these videos. Am I mad about it? No, because I just enjoy doing stuff. It's also for memory records. I have a terrible memory, so getting to watch these back gets to remind me what I did throughout my life. If you liked my art stuff, the art specifically, if you enjoyed that, leave a like. Of course, comment down below. Go look into all these things that I talked about. Correct me on all my mistakes. Give this thing some stats. I know it's a very highly defensive, special defensive even, but I don't know numbers. And yes, Epitaph, you can yell at me in the comments too, that's fine. By all means, subscribe, because I will be making more in the future, and it lets me know that people actually like my designs, which is pretty nice, pretty cool. And of course, links in the description. Go find my social media, the music that I used as well. Links are there. Go listen to them. Side games, the spin-off games, they have amazing soundtracks. Musical artists, y'all need to get on those too, because those bangers deserve remixes and all that. And with that being said, I will be eating candy as my outro, because I deserve it, and I'm tired. I will see y'all in the next episode of Retype, or maybe it's gonna be an original design. I don't know. See ya. Alright, don't have much time. There's construction happening outside. It's gonna get really, really loud. Yes, it is a different day. How did you know? Anyway, I am watching the FIFA World Cup. I don't care too much about sports, but it is definitely better than American football, so I said it. Anyway, I'm about to watch a Brazil game here in a few minutes, so gotta rush out of here. Go Team Argentina, USA, Mexico. If Bolivia was here, I would also do that too. But anyway, I will hopefully see y'all when I'm alive again. Yippee! Bye!